Meanwhile, elsewhere, Big Finish's MP3 link to this box set doesn't work as planned. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Big Finish fixes the problem with the MP3 file link. Meanwhile, elsewhere, this skit has gone on for a bit too long, so I think it's time we cut to the intro. Hello and welcome back to a Madman Big Finish review, a video series where I review some of the latest Big Finish releases. For this week's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 8th Doctor Adventures Time War 5 Cass. What a title, and what a box set. So going in as spoiler-free as possible with our first story, Meanwhile, Elsewhere by Tim Foley. The Doctor and Alex arrive on a tropical beach where something's amiss. Meanwhile, elsewhere, a desperate pilot runs for his life. Meanwhile, elsewhere, it's Cass Famazi's first day on an Aaron-class starship. Meanwhile, elsewhere, it's the beginning of the end of everything. This is a great start to this box set and lays the groundwork with what is happening. The kind of the recurring subplot arc that's happening throughout the entirety of this box set, and given how the box set ends, probably going to be continued in a future box set, but more on that later. That something is going wrong with time. These incursions are happening. They're allowing different places from time and space to appear on the starship, bringing in various different threats to the crew of the starship, leading the Doctor and Alex to them. Now, you're probably wondering, Cass Famazi, and the name of the box set, Time War 5 Cass, that seems familiar. Yes, this is the same Cass from The Night of the Doctor, and you're also probably wondering, how is this possible? She's not supposed to meet the 8th Doctor this early yet, considering her one and only meeting leads to her death. That is one of two things that is going on throughout. That is a question in this box set. How is Cass here? From the Doctor and Alex's perspective, she's just someone that they meet, and then she joins as a companion. But to us, the listeners who know who Cass is and know of her fate, we're wondering, what is going on? So that is one of the kind of the background plot that's going on, is that there's something going wrong with time. The Doctor knows that something is wrong. He feels like there's someone missing from his life. And for those who have listened to the previous four Time War box sets, it's very clear who is missing from the Doctor's life. I'm not going to go into, if you know who it is, you know who it is, but for those who haven't listened to the Time War box sets yet, I won't spoil anything, but there are clues throughout each of these stories that are given to the Doctor that there is someone missing from his life, that someone that doesn't exist anymore for some reason. And it has been seemingly replaced with Cass somehow. But for the story itself, Meanwhile Elsewhere, I really enjoyed it. It's a fantastic start to this box set. I love all the characters in here, especially Hieronyma Friend. What a name! What a name! She's a fantastic character in this box set. But this is a great start to the Time War 5 Cass. Now, moving on to our second story. Strange. Have I always been wearing these? Where was I? Yes, our second story, Vespertine by Lou Morgan. It's Cass's first trip in the TARDIS, and the Doctor is determined to make it one to remember. But when they arrive at a research base that shouldn't exist, built above a missing explorer's ship that should never have been found, it seems their visit's going to be memorable for all the wrong reasons, because deep beneath the ice, there's more than just a long-lost ship waiting for them. Now, I really enjoyed this story. Nice, right in the middle, solid story, and continuing the whole there's something wrong with time, and more so than ever that it's apparent that in this story, with a mention of a certain character that's missing, and also one of the characters in here, I'm not going to give it away because it's kind of spoilers for the story, that knows the Doctor. It seems to be on a personal level, but the Doctor doesn't know who they are. They think this could be in my future. Don't spoil anything. No spoilers. No shh. But I really liked everything about this story. It's a nice, intriguing, interesting story. Loved everything about this. Now we come to our final story, Previously Next Time by James Moran. Now, as you know with these reviews, how I format them, I come up with the synopsis off the top of my head. I just don't read the official synopsis from Big Finish. So let's get started with the Doctor, Cass, and Alex arrive at a city that should not exist, that is comprised of a civilization that shouldn't exist, that does not know what the Time War is or what Daleks are. And coincidentally, at the same time, the Daleks are here. So the Doctor, Cass, and Alex are thrust into this situation to figure out what is going on with time, what is happening. What a fantastic end to this box set. Previously the Next Time, phenomenal story. Absolutely loved everything about it. It is the longest story of this box set. It is comprised of 2 parts. It's about a little over an hour and a half, and I don't think there's any part in that story that needs to be cut. It slows the momentum of the story. I think everything about it is great. Everything was fantastic. The cast, the new characters that are in it were fantastic. There's 2 endings to this story. There's this very bittersweet one because there's a difficult choice that needs to be made to stop the Daleks, resolve what is going on. And then there's another story which just piques your interest. It's like, okay, we thought the time-changing nonsense was over. Nope, we're going to throw another spanner into the works. That's what James Moran decided. Let's throw another spanner into the works. It's going to get more confusing, which leads to my only kind of fault with the box set, is that this feels more like a setup for a future box set with what's going on, just setting up the whole something's wrong with time, particularly with the Doctor's timeline. He's met Cass earlier than he's supposed to be. He's missing someone from his life. So that's the only fault I would give it, but I still enjoyed the story regardless. And now we come to our rate. But I've always done it by... What am I doing with this? I've always done my reviews like this. I'm sorry about that. Where was I? It was on the tip of my tongue. The rating for this box set. For Time War 5 Cass, I would give it an 8.5 out of 10. This is a great, amazing start to this story, revolving around Cass, around the Doctor's timeline. Something's going on. So I'm eager to continue with this. So yeah, Time War 5 Cass, a great starting point for events to come. Would I recommend this to new listeners? Probably not, because it is part of the Time War series, and I feel like you would be missing quite a bit of context pertaining to the mystery that's happening in this box set, and also the character of Alex, if you haven't listened to at least probably an Earthly an Earthly Child. It's a 8th Doctor adventure story where he reunites with Susan and meets Alex, his great grandson, and then also the 2-part finale for his adventures with Lucy Miller and Lucy Miller and To the Death. That's what they call about what happens to Alex in those box sets, and then which is then touched upon in the last story of Time War 4. It's quite a lot of homework, unfortunately. You could just honestly just read a Wikipedia page, but you'd be missing out on some great stories, so why do that? But that's it for this review. Thank you everyone for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, check out my previous reviews, check out the videos my co-hosts have done, if they've released them. Yeah. And make sure to tune into our weekly live stream. Greatly appreciate that. And with that, I will see you all next time. Sayonara. That's what I say, right?